Welcome to Stormy Willow, where we explore the paranormal, celebrate the odd, and never trust the living. I'm your host, Adele, emotionally distant, existentially present.
And I'm your host, Sarah. Witch, please.
Yeah, seriously. If you haven't caught up with us on social media, Sarah was celebrating her birthday with the Lizardman in Bishopville, South Carolina.
I have to tell you guys, and I know we don't do a lot of banter, but please allow me to tell you, Bishopville, South Carolina Lizardman Festival, if you've never gone, go. It is so quirky, so adorable. Like, the whole town just does such a sweet job. Like, sidewalk chalk, costumes, shirts. It was such a fun festival. I loved it. It's always the last weekend of June. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. But if you're looking for a family fun day, go. And also, guys, they have an official song and a dance, and I have mastered that as well. So it's pretty awesome. I loved it. It was one of the best festivals I've been to, and it was a bucket list. So check.
Yeah. Well, did you encounter the Lizardman? Did anybody have any encounters?
Listen, they believe for sure.
It seems like they do.
They are definitely, something happened in 88 for sure. And so, but even if you don't believe, they definitely love the lore and keeping it alive. And here's the cool thing they do. So the person in 88 that had this encounter with the Lizardman, and this was way back, we covered it in episode 43. That's how long ago it's been. I thought this was so sweet. So they have this parade, right? So he was the grand marshal of the parade, and then his children and now his grandchildren are the grand marshal. So that they keep it in like that family, which I thought was cool. So stinking sweet. But just, amazing. But
and we're not talking about the actual Lizardman being the grand marshal.
No,
clarify.
We're talking about the person that had the first encounter.
Yeah.
But listen, they have Lizardman, like, their Lizardman has abs and, like, arms, and
it's
pretty scary.
Like a little superhero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steve and I got a hug and a picture and all the things. It was great. It was so awesome. It was such a fun time. And they just do it up down there in Bishopsville, so it's very sweet. I loved it so much. It's a 4-hour-long festival, and they have it DJ'd. They have, like, the library has the show about it, so you can, freshen up if you're not familiar, and you can get some Lizardman skins.
What are Lizardman skins?
Lizard lemonade. So it's like a pork rind, but they dye it green.
Oh, okay.
Very cute. Very cute. Very on brand.
Fun. Very southern.
Very on brand. Oh, and guess what else? If that wasn't enough, I got to also visit the Cotton Museum. Remember us talking about that? Or they had, like, the Cotton Museum that has, like, they actually have all, like, the newspaper clippings from over the years and stuff on Lizardman. So we got to go visit that and see how cotton was made and produced, because that was really huge in Bishopsville. And we got to see the Bon Weevil, and just a really fun place. Very cool.
That's cool. Well, speaking of fun places, I got some good booger news.
Oh, yeah. What is it booger news these days is what I want to know.
Oh, seriously? No, this is pretty boogery. And it takes place in Spain.
I thought you were going to say South Carolina. I was like, not again. I was like, we've got a heat wave.
This does sound like something somebody would do in South Carolina, though.
Okay.
So there are rednecks everywhere. I just want to say they're not just in the South.
Thank you. It's so true.
Yeah. So, in Spain, a man unleashes bees on cops during traffic stop.
He just happened to have these bees in his vehicle?
Yeah, he was a beekeeper. So, what started as a routine traffic stop in Cervera, Spain, ended with officers taking shelter in a restaurant and a swarm of bees doing most of the heavy lifting. A 70-year-old beekeeper was pulled over by local police for driving without a seatbelt. And instead of handing over his license, he allegedly threatened to run them over and then released a cloud of bees from the back of his van. Yes, bees, and yes, on purpose. The swarm chased the officers into a nearby restaurant, which, according to witnesses, looked like something between a horror movie and a deleted Wile E. Coyote sketch. So it's very cartoonish. And then the man refused a breathalyzer, insulted at least one officer's mama, and allegedly tried to kick someone before being arrested.
Whoa.
But no one was seriously injured. And the bees, however, remain emotionally unavailable for comment. But yeah, that's a new one. So seatbelt, no. Bees, yes. Regret, probably not. I don't think he regretted that for 1 minute.
I mean, he was probably like, I'm going to go to jail anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and assault your mom, see you. Now, you do that in the South and get your ass beat. For real.
Or it might be true. It just depends on who your mama is.
That would definitely go down differently in South Carolina. But, oh my God, like, I hope no one was allergic because that could be
Right?
deadly. Honest,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. I think it would have probably turned into like a shootout in America. It doesn't sound like those cops escalated it, but what an odd day for them. Like,
I mean, you just never know what you're going to encounter.
I mean, I've heard of people in Florida and like Alabama using alligators, like threatening people with alligators.
Well,
that's a new one for me.
Let me tell you one. The Herald several years ago, this has been like over a decade ago, in Rock Hill, someone got assaulted by a snake. Like this guy had that snake and slapped the person across the face with it. So I mean,
whoa, isn't that animal abuse? Like on multiple levels?
I don't know. I mean,
I feel bad for the snake.
I mean, people are weird. Yeah.
So I don't know. Just mind your own beeswax is what we say.
Yeah, for real. It's like, man, he just wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Just let it go. Like, was it really worth pulling him over in the long run for that?
I don't know.
But I mean, we certainly enjoyed the story.
We sure did. And speaking of stories, do we want to hear the story of what our week is going to be like?
Might as well. We're going to have to live through it.
It's really honestly like the same old kind of bullshit.
Nothing new.
So let's just skip it. No.
I'm gonna say something shitty to someone, then I'm gonna reflect on it, and then I'm gonna have a great weekend.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's kind of how it's gonna go. But just for shits and giggles, sure, here's the astro forecast for this week. So this week feels like the cosmic version of a half-cleaned room. You started with a goal, now you're crying in a pile of old receipts and emotional side quests.
Oh.
Yay. So Monday, June 30th, big plans, little follow-through. That sounds like me every day.
I know, right?
And, of course, it's the Leo moon. It kicks things off. Yeah, it kicks things off with main character delusions. And you're full of declarations, dramatic errands, and maybe an impulse to color code your future. But by late morning...
Okay, wow.
It doesn't last long. 10:20 a.m. Eastern, to be specific. Virgo slides in and reminds you that ambition without logistics is just a messy Pinterest board. So, forecast for Monday morning, very confident. Afternoon, you're going to go into a task spiral. So, avoid announcing new projects before your second cup of coffee. So don't bite off more than you can chew in the morning and be like a typical Leo, thinking you can do anything and everything. Just don't make any declarations or promises.
And especially on a Monday. Don't do that. Don't do that on a Monday. No.
Before you commit to anything or big projects, wait until noon. I would say just give yourself.
Maybe
don't do it in the morning.
On it. Wait till midnight.
Or just don't. Right?
Just don't.
Don't make commitments. All right, and then Tuesday, July 1st. chores, guilt, and the crushing weight of that one email. So the Virgo moon continues, dragging you into focus whether you like it or not. Great day for fixing what's broken, but don't expect emotional satisfaction. You're more functional than fulfilled on this day.
Ew.
Solid productivity, emotional flatline, and mild dissociation if spreadsheets are involved. So I guess just lean into your work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then Wednesday, July the 2nd, void moon energy, spiritually buffering. So the moon goes void in Virgo in the afternoon, which means don't force anything. Conversations go nowhere. Tasks don't land. And your will to engage, that's just MIA.
Wow.
So Wednesday, low functioning purgatory kind of vibes. High chance of standing in front of the fridge with no idea why you're there. And best to wrap things up early. Sounds like a good day to me. All right, and then Thursday, July 3rd, mood swing diplomacy.
Oh,
So,
I love a good mood swing.
Yeah, the moon enters Libra, and you'll try to rebalance, but it's giving "I'm fine" energy instead of in a deeply unconvincing tone. Jupiter's influence stirs up long-range thinking, but don't confuse vision with action. You might just be tired and romanticizing a new planner. So, I guess don't take yourself too serious on this day. It sounds like if you have plans at all this week, just don't. Is what I'm getting from this.
Go ahead right now and send that text.
Yeah, so Thursday it's going to be passive-aggressive niceness. Flashes of big picture clarity, then back to mild chaos. And go for aesthetics. Skip the decisions. Oh boy. And then Friday, Independence Day, 4th of July. It's talky planet and foggy mirror. So Venus enters Gemini. You want stimulation, variety, and novelty in everything from projects to playlists. Neptune stations retrograde in Aries, so big illusions start to crumble, especially the ones you told yourself to get through the last 6 months. I don't know what that means. Maybe you're falling off your diet?
I don't know.
Forecast, distracted, overstimulated, and slightly haunted by your own thoughts. Take a walk. Don't buy a domain name or anything like that.
Or maybe just don't, like if you're in a state like South Carolina, like don't splurge on those fireworks. Think twice. It's like, why did I do that? I got $120 on bottle rockets, man.
Yeah, don't get the big like multi-pack. Just get a few little firecrackers. Just like a good...
I said sprinklers. Sparklers. Get some sparklers. Call it a day.
Just get you some cherry bombs.
If you're petrified of fire, I mean, I've never been one to go crazy on the fireworks.
Yeah. Maybe it's a sparkler kind of day.
Yeah.
Don't go for like the neighborhood showmanship.
You're going to regret it.
We're just putting that out there.
Yeah.
And if that wasn't great, the weekend, Saturday, July 5th, the mask slips. So Libra moon squares Pluto, and everyone's vibe radar short circuits. Jesus. So you're trying to be chill, but your energy is feral. Old tensions resurface. It sounds like don't have a 4th of July get together.
Unless you really want some fireworks to explode.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely just sounds like
I'm fine. Everything is fine. It
sounds like a family reunion, right?
It sounds like a hot mess.
The old tensions resurface. Yeah, stay in the cool air, for crying out loud. You might spiral over a text or emotionally unravel in a Target parking lot.
I told you to bring hot dogs. I said...
They're sold out. They're out. They have the weenies, but they don't have the buns.
Like, this is just not, no.
All the buns were recalled.
Cancel the cookout.
You just need to go get some Captain Steve's or like some cookout, to go, or a bow box, and call it a day.
Get you a bow box to go. And come on home and watch Mama's Family or The Sandlot or something like that and call it a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So yeah, it's going to be surface level calm, but with interior chaos.
Yeah.
So
That
brace for
part.
passive aggressive mood swings and avoid initiating just wondering where we stand conversations. Don't do it. And then Sunday, July 6th, deep clean internally. So moon enters Scorpio. Man, this moon is moving around a lot this week.
It really is.
And everything softens and sharpens at once. You want honesty, privacy, and a little transformation, but quietly. Luckily, Venus forms sextiles to Saturn and Neptune, supporting real healing and practical reflection. So tired, but clearer. The forecast. And good for journaling, deleting old drafts, and remembering who you were before burnout had a personality.
Wow.
So that is your week.
That sounds...
So Monday through Wednesday, let's just do a quick rundown of the mood index. So Monday through Wednesday, I can do this. I just need a new system and a snack. Thursday through Sunday, I've entered my emotional editing phase. Please hold. That is your forecast.
I feel like if you have to give us a mood index, that's not a good sign.
No.
I'm just gonna say.
And we're going to be over-indexing, apparently, on the passive-aggressive, so.
Yeah, maybe just try to spend some alone time. Maybe it's a great summer reading. There you go. Summer reading, summer movies. Maybe just don't be around people.
And not to sound like an old fart, but I'm getting the sense that maybe you should avoid too much alcohol.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be some slip of the tongues if you're not keeping yourself in check.
Now we know Sarah likes a good beer and a cocktail, but sometimes you mix that with the hot sun and you're already feeling all the feels. It could be a recipe for a disaster.
Yeah. So
Really. So maybe or maybe just drink alone.
Maybe just hydrate.
Just hydrate. Drink your
just
water.
Sit in your little kiddie pool and drink some sweet tea.
That's right. Speaking of sweet tea, you know what I made this week, Adele?
Sweet tea?
Sun tea.
Oh, with lemon, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with lemon balm from the garden. And I also want to give out a shout out to Adele. She got me, and I wore it to, I wanted to tell you, to Lizardman, a Bojangles, like, it's not a purse, it's like a
tote bag.
Bag, a little tote, thank you, a tote bag. It's pretty amazing. Like, I love it. I had my Stormy Willow shirt on and my Bojangles tote, and I was just representing. And that thing came too with all the merchandise I bought. So.
It also seems like it would be a good bag for trick-or-treating as well. Like, that would hold a lot of candy.
Do you know how many biscuits I could get in that thing?
You could probably fit, I'm not even kidding, probably at least 6 bow boxes.
Yeah, I'm going to test it.
I feel like I'm actually oddly accurate on that estimate.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. I'm about to hold the bag, please. But yeah, Adele got me that, and then also like a creepy Annabelle doll.
It's little Annabelle.
So if things go south for me or something happens to me, I just want to put that out there. You guys know why.
You should call her ABJ for Annabelle Jr.
Anna, AJ, Anna Jr. over here.
Yeah, she's a little tiny. She'll cause little problems. She's not going to be big trouble.
I was like, Adele, what the hell?
Yeah,
I found Annabelle, guys. Don't worry. But it was awesome. I had so much birthday love, and just everybody was so sweet, and was just such a fun time. So, but let me tell you about somebody.
Of Annabelle, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's looking at me. So let me tell you about somebody who did not have a very good time in today's ghost story. I love a good ghost story.
Oh yeah,
this is so awesome. So I call this one "Where the Aftershave Still Lingers." Jennifer Patterson, Whispers in Warsaw, Indiana.
Where the aftershave still lingers.
Yes.
Why is it making me think of Teen Wolf?
I don't know. Why isn't it?
Like, did she turn into a wolf and have to shave her whole body?
No, but you're gonna find out. I'm gonna tell you about the aftershave, and you're gonna be like, oh, I get it now.
Oh,
So, all
Lord. Okay.
right. So let's talk about Jennifer here. Jennifer Patterson, 24-year-old, has her shit together, ready
Does
to
she,
buy
though?
her.
Does she? Does any 24-year-old?
Well,
I
what's
don't
so
know about that.
sad is I feel like she does a little more than your normal 24-year-old. But like she's ready, like she has,
Well,
done
what's
well.
her trauma?
She's ready to buy her first home, and she's like, she's so excited. Like she's always wanted like this quiet life. She didn't really want to live in like a neighborhood where she had like neighbors. She has horses that she would have to kind of keep in the stable, so she couldn't like be with them all the time. So she wanted enough land so she could actually like have her horses with her. Um, and so, she couldn't really find that place. And then her family knew someone whose parents passed and they wanted to sell their house to someone that, they didn't want to really just put it on the market. They wanted to kind of sell it to somebody that they knew would take care of it because it was like their family home, right? And so she and her dad go look at this place and it's perfect. It's like 5 acres, old home. And she could actually have her horses there. And she's like, this, and like the price was right. And she's like, this is everything I want. Like, fantastic. Awesome. Things are going fantastic. So then, she packs, she has her, closes on the house, boxes are unpacked, all the stuff is happening. And then she noticed little things like, like, oh, what was that shadow I just saw? Or did that shower curtain really lift itself open on its own? Like, and then she
Mm-hmm.
started to think, Jennifer is very like you, Adele. Like, she's like, obviously, it's an old house. These things I'm seeing is because it's just a new house, right? Like, to me. So I'm not used
Right.
to the creaking floors. It's fine.
As long
The
as it's not
shower
a
curtain,
physical, actual person, we're good.
that's her. Like, she's like, I don't care. I'm not, she doesn't scare easy. She's like, I'm sure
I ain't
there's a
afraid
vent.
no ghosts.
Yes. She's like, I'm pretty sure like there's a vent that's blowing the shower curtain. Like, so she's not freaking out like someone might. And so, soon, like, she kept hearing footsteps and she was like, I'm sure it's creaking floors, whatever. Then she said, like, she like just would walk into like a man's like aftershave. Like, she's like, it was like the old spicy kind of like aftershave, like, just would like just, and she was like, she's like, I'm
I would
pretty
be
sure.
so creeped out if somebody's like squatting in my house or living in the walls, is where my mind would go.
She was just thinking, well, there's probably like something that got left over that I'm spelling. And so like she's like going through like medicine cabinets, all the things. And like I said, like Jennifer's not her mind like is not like thinking ghosts like at all. Like she's like you. She's like, I don't really like people, not really afraid of ghosts, like whatever. Like, and so she's not, I mean, she's like, these things are weird, but she's like, I'm sure it's something. There's a reason. And it was just more annoying for her than it was like, oh my God, I gotta get the hell out of here.
I think my
So she's
biggest question so far, though, is the entity an Old Spice man?
maybe.
Or more of like
It's
an axe? I don't know.
so she says it's like old man aftershave. Like she's very specific. And so I'm
Oh,
thinking it's
okay.
like old man.
Pretty
It's not like,
spicy.
yeah, yeah. It's not like the new Axe body spray for men. It's like,
It's not like Bath and Body Works.
exactly.
Canyon scent. Okay.
Exactly. And so, like, she just, she's like, this is fine. Like, I'm not worried about it. Like, whatever. And so she decides to have a party. She's 24. She's like, I'm going to have a big housewarming party
I'm gonna have a
here.
big fucking horse party. That's what I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
have.
I mean, she's got 5 acres, no neighbors. Like,
Let's
she's
get drunk and ride horses, guys.
ready down. And so she's having like this get together, right? And one of her friends' boyfriends, which she had never really met before, was there. And he comes up to Jennifer and he's like, girl, you in danger.
Oh, he turns into Whoopi Goldberg.
He turns into Whoopi Goldberg. Then there's like all of a sudden this moment where there's pottery.
Just use my body. It won't be gay at all. I'll turn into Sam Wheat. Anyway, sorry.
tells
You know,
her,
you know, you know, Demi Moore and Whoopi Goldberg, like, were actually just like full on like making out and cuddling each other the whole time in that scene. But they, you know what I mean? When you really think about it, even though they show you Sam, it's actually Whoopi, and it always makes me laugh when she lets Sam use her body.
Yeah.
And it drains me. Anyway.
You digress.
I digress.
And so this guy that Jennifer barely knows is like, there's an entity in this house that really wants you out of here. And Jennifer's like, who the hell is this dumbass? Like, who brought him? Like, why would you say that?
You? Is it you?
Yeah, like, she's
Are
you
the
about it? And she's like, why? Just go the fuck away, or whatever. And so she gets really mad about it, just kind of like, why would you say something like that? And so she asked her friend the next day, because I think they're coworkers too, and she was just like, what? Like, what's up with this guy? Like, why would he say something like that? And she's like, well, he's a medium. And she's like, whatever. So she just
I'm a large, and I want him to get out of here.
She just like brushes it off. She's like, whatever. And so these odd things still keep happening. She has 2 dogs. They're acting crazed, which is never a good sign when dogs and kids act crazed. But she's like, they're probably just getting used to the new environment too. It's fine. They're fine. And so she and this guy that she works with, like, like she tells them, like, it's starting to kind of get to her a little bit. And so, like, she tells him about it. And, like, they start dating or whatever. And she's like, I don't know if I'm like, they date for like several months and all this stuff is still happening. And so she'll like bring it up or whatever. And then eventually their relationship like gets solid and he moves in. And he is also a skeptic like she is. So he's like, we're not worried about this at all. And so they have this, like he has kids or whatever. And so they turn one of the rooms into like the kids' rooms. And they would find just these dead flies, like 50 or more dead flies. And so she would vacuum them up. Then 50 more dead flies would start again. She would vacuum them up. And she's like, and it was always, she's like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And
Why
so that's.
Do these entities never do anything to mosquitoes in your backyard?
It's all, yes.
That sounds very helpful, just not indoors. Can you just, anyway.
And so, I mean, she's just like, what the hell is going on? She said, this is just, because at this point she's thinking she's just going berserk. And so, lo and behold, somebody that knows somebody knew about this house. And so she talks to like the person, and apparently she finds out that this house was built by a man named Eli Jones for his wife. And so basically they lived like in the basement and then he built above it or whatever. And so he just adored her. And apparently she passed away in the master bedroom. And then 7 months later, Eli died in the home. So like they both died in the home. And so they think that their spirits never left the house. So anyway, so she finds out this stuff. We've got her boyfriend Sean and his kids living there. And it seems like whenever the kids moved in and stuff, it got even more angry. She had like a laundry room in the basement, and they had like some flooding, and so they had to like rip off the drywall to replace it because of it was wet, didn't want to be molded. She said as soon as that started, like she got shoved down the stairs by an entity. It's like it was pissed that she was messing with the structure or whatever. Yeah. And it was crazy. And like Sean even talks about how he would hear stuff, and like he at one point thought like someone had broken into the house, and so he was like running around like trying to like check on the kids, like making sure no one had broken in, and they hadn't. And so then they're just kind of like, this is out of control, like something is definitely wrong. So they finally are like, they're like, this is so stupid, but let's call in a team of people that can speak to the dead, get the house cleansed, see what's going on. Now, this is a huge step for them because remember, they're not believers. They're very scientific. So like, this is ridiculous that we're doing this, but we don't know what else to do. So she says that she reached out to a hotshot investigator that turned her down. And I think we all know who that might have
Gee,
been.
I wonder who
It
it
wasn't
was.
worth his time. And so this all-female paranormal team that was around the Indiana area were like, okay, well, we'll come. And they capture EVPs, and they heard like really intense male presence, like on the EVP. And they were so like, they were just like, okay, we're gonna leave. And then they also questioned her because they're like, is Jennifer and Eli like trying to make this shit up? Because the EVPs were like that clear. So they were trying to disprove the EVPs.
Mm.
But see, that's what a
Hmm.
good investigator does, you know? So
Yeah.
they even brought in someone that was like an electrician and all of this stuff to like, I was like, could anything make this noise, you know, or do this? And everything checked out. So like they feel like they're EVPs and like, we weren't trying to like, I think Jennifer felt offended. Like, why would you think that? And they're like, well, we have to rule out everything. Like, you could be trying to make this stuff up, whatever.
Yeah.
And even the electrician was just like, there's nothing here like, that would make that happen. So the EVPs that they got were pretty intense. And so, they did a cleansing and everything, and that did not help.
Oh God.
It did not
Okay.
help at all. And so they were just like, what do we do now? Because I think they have a new baby at the time. She's like, the baby is literally talking to this entity, and then that was her point where she's like, I'm done. Like they're messing with the kids. I can't do this anymore. So they pack up and peace out, right? And so now, so they get to another home, everything is fine. But now Jennifer co-hosts a podcast called The United States of Paranormal. She now
Huh.
is a believer in the
Jeez.
paranormal. And she also explores other people's unexplained experiences and her own with more clarity. She's very witty, she's very funny, and like kind of a survivor's edge. And so she's like, I always kind of thought the paranormal world was just like, okay, whatever. It's like it kind of changed